Hello everybody, it's Zach here from RealEstateLicenseWizard.com. Today we're talking about commingling. Now there are two different ways to define commingling within real estate. One, through the eyes of the agent or broker, and two, from the perspective of a real estate investor or a regular person. In this video, we will break down each definition, define what is legal and what is not, and of course cover what you need to know for the real estate exam. Alright, like always, let's take a look at our definition to get started. So what is commingling in real estate? So in real estate, commingling refers to the act of mixing clients' funds with brokers' funds. Commingling can be both illegal or legal depending on the state and circumstance. Now typically, from an agent's perspective, commingling should be avoided at all costs. In fact, in most states, a licensee or broker who's found guilty of commingling their clients' funds might actually have their license suspended or revoked. Now, commingling can be legal in some circumstances, which we will cover soon, but in most cases, as an agent or broker, it's just best to avoid it. So what are commingled real estate funds? Well, generally speaking, commingled funds are the funds themselves commingled in real estate. From an agent's perspective, those funds are best defined as personal funds mixed with clients' funds. In most cases, this technique is regarded as a breach of your fiduciary duty and a type of fraud. Now, in real estate investing, commingled real estate funds are the funds managers mixed from many sources to invest. So let's talk about that. So what is commingling in real estate investing? If you choose to invest in real estate, commingling is the process of pooling investors' assets into a single fund or investment entity. Now, most investment funds have commingling as a key component. Makes sense, right? If you're going to invest in something big, you have to, bring in all this money and assets together. So that would be an example of how you would use commingling legally. Other examples include real estate investment trusts, crowdfunding, mutual funds, pension funds. All of those use some form of commingling. So is commingling in real estate legal? Well, obviously from an agent's or broker's perspective, commingling can be both legal or illegal, like I said earlier. Now, and a good example is in Pennsylvania. It is actually illegal to commingle funds that are required to be held in escrow or an interest-bearing account. Let's take a look at this state code right here. I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys. So it says a broker may not commingle money that is required to be held in escrow or interest earned on an escrow account with business, personal, or other funds. And it gives the code and stuff. So what does that mean? Well, obviously a broker can't take money that maybe somebody has in their escrow account for a house, and they can't take it out and use it on something else. And obviously PA has certain rules that these escrow funds have to be interest bearing and stuff like that. So then what is legal, or when is it legal? Well, there are many legal uses for commingling funds. For example, it's perfectly legal to establish a commingled fund for maybe a group of business partners. Maybe they want to put all their money together and do a joint account and start a company or something like that. Another example would be, maybe a couple joins in marriage together and one partner owns a home before the marriage, but both partners pay the mortgage out of a joint bank account. This uses each other's personal funds in the real estate transaction and again is perfectly legal. So is it legal, illegal? What are we talking about here? Well, generally speaking, again, commingling in real estate is lawful for real estate investing and ordinary circumstances. However, it's not permitted for most brokers or agents because they are a fiduciary. Remember, they have a fiduciary set of duties that they must uphold. Remember, brokers and agents are acting under a set of codes and they have to follow them very strictly. So how do you tell the difference? Well, it's best to double, sometimes triple check your state-specific license law. In our case, since most of our viewers are studying to become real estate agents, it's critical to make sure you understand what's legal in your state. So let's go through a couple more examples. Other than the examples I went through before, there's one textbook example I really want to talk about, and that's the concept of a security deposit. So when a landlord deposits a tenant's rental security deposit in the same bank account as the landlord's personal account, that is commingling. The deposit serves as a guarantee that the tenant will pay the rent on time. I mean, you guys know the concept of security deposit. I don't need to get into that too much. But essentially, it's there to make sure that the lease is followed and all the terms and conditions are set. So in this example, the fiduciary is the person who receives the money and the client is the one who gives the money. Since the landlord of the rental property now has control of the client's money, the landlord has a fiduciary responsibility to the renter to appropriately care for the security deposit and not use it for personal expenses. Now, the security deposit should be refunded to the tenant at the end as long as the tenant fulfills all of their obligations. So again, this could be legal, perfectly legal, or it could be illegal, depending on, how they deal with it, how they do it. Illegal commingling can occur if, let's just say, a tenant's rental security deposit is used for personal purchases. Ideally, a landlord should have two separate funds, one for the renters' security deposits and another for business-related transactions, like, for branch repairs, etc. So now, what is this difference between commingling and conversion? Maybe you guys heard this term conversion before. They typically go hand in hand. So while commingling relates to how money is placed on behalf of the client by the fiduciary, conversion refers to the act of using the client's money for anything other than what it was intended for. Conversion is a type of theft that occurs when a fiduciary lawfully accepts funds from a client and utilizes those assets for the fiduciary's personal or company purposes without the client's approval. Commingling obviously can lead to theft by conversion. That's how these terms are connective. In short, commingling refers to the act of mixing clients' funds with the broker's own funds, while conversion is the unlawful misappropriation and use of the client's funds by a licensee. See the difference? Hopefully. If your state allows commingling and you misappropriate the funds, that's conversion. Hopefully, again, that makes sense. Obviously, it's worth mentioning both illegal commingling and conversion can lead to criminal penalties and severe consequences. So now that we learned all about this, how do you avoid it? How to avoid commingling in real estate? Well, how do we do this? Well, to ensure that you are following all the rules and that you are avoiding commingling funds, it's important that your pools of money are separate. So I know a lot of people that do this, they transfer, from their regular account to their business account, and you can technically do this. You can obviously fix this by refunding the account and maybe categorize it. But again, it's a harmful habit, and if left untreated, it might be classified as commingling. So having separate accounts for, each property, each, account, business, whatever you're dealing with is best. So it's critical to do that. Literally, it's so important. If you take anything away from this video in your future, please do that. Have separate bank accounts for all your stuff. It's the safest thing to do, and also keep really good records of all your transactions. So what to know come exam day? Well, determining what is classified as legal commingling and what is not is essential for your exam and really your future real estate career. Remember, commingling can mean different things depending on your state, your fiduciary relationship, and more. It's best to be familiar with what is legal in your circumstance and always double check with a lawyer, law expert, maybe your real estate broker, if you're an agent, if you have any doubts. Know this and you'll be successful come exam day and in your future real estate endeavors. Woo! That was a little bit of a lengthy one, but I think it was really fun. It was fun for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out our other videos, subscribe for more real estate exam related stuff. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, Zach from realestatelicensewizard.com. Make today magical. See you guys next time.